Simpsons is made in Korea.
Because they wanted the quality of Korea. Koreans are known for their skill set. Like one of the fastest in the world.
Weird conspiracy theory.
So what happens is that, and I mean, this is what I'm just thinking about because.
Hi everybody, welcome to Awesome Korea. My name is Joel, and we have a very special guest.
Hi everybody, my name is 랄프소사. I was one of the directors of The Simpsons. I also work for many studios like Warner Brothers, Sony, and in Korea I've worked for BTS, CJ.
All the big companies. You've done all the big companies.
I've been very lucky, very fortunate.
Grew up on stuff like The Simpsons and all the animations. It's really an honor to meet you. So
thank you.
Do it American style, I guess.
Thank you very much, sir.
Today we're here, obviously, at a Korean restaurant. Anything in particular you'd like to eat?
I can pretty much eat anything in Korea. I love anything like with pork kimchi jjigae, beef ribs, or the beef stew. Either one of those three, I could go for.
You said that you enjoyed things that I don't even eat, like chuotang.
Yeah, chuotang is awesome. Basic things we eat, and then hongo, which is crazy.
Yeah, you're more. I think you might be more Korean than me.
I've been to Korea probably like 30 times.
Wait, what? When did you first come to Korea?
I first came in Korea was 2006.
Oh, that's the year I moved here. Okay.
And so what happened was we finished the Simpsons movie. They had a project, a video game. So my job was to chase it down because they had already sent all the work, and my job was to intercept it, fix it so they don't have to do it again. I knew nothing about Korea, zero. I don't want to go because I don't know any Korean. In those days, it was very hard to get a passport, like immediately, because they said you have to go this week. I'm like, not gonna happen. So on Monday, I go to the studio and say, hey, I can't go to Korea. Okay. Tuesday, they send me to a lawyer. Wednesday, I'm on a plane.
So they actually worked it out.
So I arrived knowing nothing of Korea, and I was blown away. I'm like, it was like an anime. It was like kind of like Blade Runner.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
seeing the future and the past like combined together. I'm like, no one knows about this place. At that time, the only movies we knew about was Old Boy. So I had a wrong impression. Like, don't go downstairs, don't go anywhere dark.
They make it look dismal and like,
dangerous.
Yeah,
and it
like
was the
apocalyptic,
polar opposite.
you know?
Yeah. And once I got there, I was here for 3 months.
Oh, you were that long?
I didn't bring enough clothes. I lost 30 pounds. I went home and they freaked out. They're like, I ate more food in Korea, like literally amounts of food, and I lost 30 pounds.
It's so much less processed and like there's more vegetables.
Yeah,
and,
there's noodles everywhere, right? So
Because you came back now, and do you find that Korea has changed a lot?
crazy changed. When I came back in 2011, we would go out at 3 a.m. at the Innis Hair. People getting their hair done. We're like getting coffee. I'm like, it's 3 a.m. and that's open. Like it was like Gangnam was 24 hours.
Right.
After COVID, people don't drink as much. There's like a little more subdued reality. It was crazy. Wild times.
That was right when I was a college student. I know better than anybody. Coming back to Korea, like what brought you to Korea this time?
Character art business and pop art.
Okay, is there like an exhibition?
We're doing specialty art for fans, essentially Simpsonizing people and also doing Simpsonized pop art to reach people that are interested in the show, trying to create specialized art first for people that want to look like the show. It worked out really well. And everything's always a challenge when you do stuff because you're trying to make it for the person. When you think of the Simpsons, like they spread love, happiness, because that's what art is to some degree and storytelling is that you reminisce and you remember certain things about the show and feel a part of it. Right. That's like one level of these things. So living in that world, and if they're a big fan, that's one of the things we do. This is an opportunity to do that, and why not, right? Kind of connect better.
Right.
Culture.
Like the general public.
Yeah.
Because you kind of wanted to.
There's a way to do something for the general public. Oh, wow.
감사합니다. We'll just like share. We'll do
Yeah,
Korean
absolutely, bro. Right on. This looks amazing.
Isn't it? We should eat before it gets cold, though.
Yeah.
Here, let me give you some of this. This is braised pork with kimchi.
Yeah. I know how to make kimchi jjigae at home.
Really?
Yeah. There's a lot of YouTube videos I've learned.
Here's some fish for you too.
Right on.
And then you can just take, these are Korean style, just
Yeah.
share, 잡수세요.
Just sale. Thank you so much, sir.
Oh, no. Oh, wow.
It was very unique, very nutty and delicious. It's really good.
It's probably your favorite food.
The chuatong, I love solgapchan. Even though it's fatty and not healthy, but I love it. Like no place is the same, and the beef is different. Or the pork. Oh, bosam, I like bosam. Not healthy for you. Again, look at this. I mean, I'm low. It's not my cause, but
There's nothing you don't like, I think. It sounds good.
I love most Korean food. I mean,
have you ever done like as a visitor, done like ancestral rites or anything like that? Just have you seen it?
yeah.
Oh, really?
I've been to a lot of stuff in Korea. Like, I used to go to the museums. I know about the history, like naval captain.
이순신?
Yeah.
The turtle bug guy.
Yeah. Trying to learn a little bit more because we're trying to do concepts or content that's based on Korean culture. And one of the challenges you have with doing Korean concepts is every time I meet anybody in any studio, wherever I go, the challenge is, our content's super unique and impossible to translate. Not true. Because I'm like, look, Parasite, the Korean culture, people will love it. Yeah. Because right now, one-dimensional, like only focused on Koreans, no one's going to understand it. Look at The Good Doctor, remade it for American. Masked Singer did really well. No one knows that it comes from Korea.
I didn't even know that they put it in Korea. They talk about Nick Cannon and he's like doing MCing and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I saw that, I was like, wait a minute, what is this? Like, because I didn't know they had taken it to America. And I was like, this literally looks exactly like The Masked Singer. Korean content blowing up in the States or everywhere, really. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that Korean content finally blew up? Because like before this, if you look back in the 90s and like the 2000s, like Japan had its turn.
Well, I think the biggest thing is that Americans are generally used to a certain level of quality of filmmaking or storytelling. Korean shows on the level of storytelling, sometimes above American shows. All these love dramas. They're fun, they're cute, they're unique. You're bringing something to the table. When you want a show that's popular, like Big Bang Theory, it takes something that you didn't ever thought would be put together, and you see them, and you kind of enjoy the kind of the spontaneity of the show. Even though it's not new to Koreans here, for Americans, they totally understand. This guy loves that girl, but that girl loves that guy. But now it's a new place, like Lord of the Rings. It's the same thing about the real world, except it's more fantastical. The film style is really amazing.
Right.
And the directors here are super creative. So visually stunning, visually creative. Squid Game. You have to explain a lot to people. And they do. They have that game in the beginning they play. That's very Korean. No one knows about it. Remember, you don't have to know. As long as you understand the rules, the drama, the audience, without knowing the language, can watch it. I watched it without subtitles, and I understand what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
So the quality level is super high in Korean and storytelling. Or K-pop. K-pop has, the hooks, the songs, the beautiful songs.
That really works, I guess.
And in Korea, they could pick out the differences between the artists. But like in America, like easy for people in Korea to pick out the good person, the bad person, the attitude one. So I think the difference is that the quality they can remain Korean, and that's the whole point when we're doing Korean concept stuff here, is like remain Korean. People want new. The problem is you have to make it accessible.
Right.
As long as you make it accessible in some way, shape, or form, a little bit, people will be drawn in. Like anime was one dimension, but it's kind of gotten stale. It's kind of gotten static. Where K-pop culture and also the television culture is really broad.
Why is it exactly, do you think, that the Korean content has gotten so popular in the world? Even America or anywhere? Like, it seems to have really resonated with people.
It resonates, like I said, unique storytelling. Like Parasite, and that is a very unique story. No one's seen it before. And it's well-told stories. All the directors tell really good stories.
That makes a lot of sense, because, if you live in Korea, you don't necessarily understand why people resonated with so much. Like, if you live in Korea, you watch Korean content. You don't realize the impact that it has overseas. Because, I don't live in the States anymore, so I don't know. But, when I see and I hear it from people that actually live there, it's definitely a bigger impact,
Niche audience, niche concepts to global ideas and stories. I don't know if you noticed, a lot of women travel to Korea because they want a Korean boyfriend.
I know.
They think they're very handsome, they're very good looking.
There's a bit of a fetishization of Korean people a lot these days.
When I came to Korea the first time, I was the tallest thing around. Now I'm like looking up, like, what are they feeding everyone here? Even the girls, you're like, oh my God, they're so tall. Everyone's growing tall. Everyone's like model almost looking. Everyone's a model? Like everybody? Look at that. Like I look like a mongrel, right? You realize the food is super healthy. But everything is really amazing here. You can see why everyone's getting tall and big and super healthy. Even if it's bad, it's better than American food, right?
When they say it's unhealthy here, it means it's semi-healthy somewhere else.
Yeah, if you're drinking like 5 soju bottles with your dinner, you may have been screwing it, but everything else is great, right?
Definitely. Speaking of Korea and you coming back to, there's a lot of things and people that say, Simpsons is made in Korea. Why do they say that exactly? Even though I've heard this particular rumor before.
So, animation's been done in China, Singapore, Philippines, when the Simpsons was around. Koreans are known for their skill set. If you take the history back to China a little bit, we lost all our resources after all the wars, right? All we had was our minds, and we're going to build up from there. We focus on technology. So when animation came around, they had all these trained artists that were super talented, that were also very organized. You go to the Philippines, there's some issues with organization and dealing with people in Singapore and China. When they did animation here, even though they didn't understand the language, they understood the skill set was super strong. There's a famous Korean animator in the United States. He worked on Star Wars. He did like laser blasts and stuff.
Oh wow, rotoscoping and all that?
He was considered like one of the super fast animators, like one of the fastest in the world. They needed a studio to animate in Korea because they wanted the quality of Korea, but didn't have a studio. Apparently there was a defunct studio where I was staying near Godot Market that was shut down. So they sent him. It's like, we like you. We're going to send you a look at the studio. If it's okay. He went in and checked it out. He said, do you like it? Does it work? Yeah, it looks good. Okay, here's the paperwork. It's yours now, but you work for us. It's like a mob deal almost. Like you work for us because they trusted him implicitly. And he's one of the main studios that still to this day, 36 years later, does this show.
Wow.
And the last time I saw him, he had all white hair. He was very old.
When was the last time you saw him?
Over 10 years ago. When I worked with him, he was a charming guy and he was always trying to do a project, but suffering from the same issues of anime works on its own level because, again, remember, unique creative storytelling, but also funny and cute. You always have to kind of include comedy. So with Nelson Shin, the game studio, there are a lot of animators that could just high quality, and that's why it's done here, because they could not count on the deadline, the quality, and the consistency for many other countries in the world at the time, because it's cost prohibitive to animate in the States. It's just impossible. Also, Americans are really kind of lazy. So because they're lazy, you can't count on them. But in Korea, I mean, I was here working, like I said, to fix it, and they were like, the turnaround was like insane. Like, I don't know how they do it. I mean, they do it one time and it's done.
The work ethic, the better good, the final product, like they take a lot of pride in it. So a lot of Korean people are like willing to do work with a quick turnaround rate and stuff like that. So I mean, I guess that makes sense on why you would choose to do that in Korea, the animation, a lot of the animation.
Koreans have their own culture like South America, right? But they're the closest things to Americans that there can be. The sensibilities are similar, family similar, ethics, religion, faith, very similar. So the idea of getting along with, like in China, I've been to China many times, and it's like, it's I feel bad for that situation, you know, because they don't have any ethic code because of the CCP. Right. It's very difficult for them to have like a unified spirit, works with each other. Where in Korea, everyone, I mean, I've seen so many goodwill things that are done and just amazing people. I mean, it's great. Like, I've been a lot of places. Like I said, I want to live here. I've experienced a lot amazing things in this culture, this country. It's similar to Chuseok. People venerate their dead not because they're just honoring their dead or want to. It's a superstition. It's like where you came from. Yeah. That's the point. Like,
yeah, it's basically paying respect. You're not like worshiping. You're paying respects to the people that came before you.
They worked really hard to get here, and like that's what I find very amazing. So I understood the whole concept. Oh, that's what's so similar. So I think there's a lot of connections where other countries do not have.
So you're here right now to promote your new project here regarding the Simpsons.
Yes.
Is there a reason you chose Korea in particular as opposed to another country? And do you have any plans to take it to other places to kind of?
We're definitely going to go open in other countries. Okay. But our focus again is Korea because again I love this country and the idea of this country. I kind of just understand it. If you talk about Korea, as to a foreigner, what would they say? Samsung, Hyundai. If we say Japan, Ninja, anime. They have all these. You think of stories and culture. China, Kung Fu, Dynasty. So my issue is like every time you think of Korea, you don't know all these cool stories and interesting things that have not been translated and or brought to the attention, except for the kind of crazy dramas, crazy comedies. There's a way to take without changing. So that's my focus. Learning more about the stories, more of the going out culture, and trying to create a content that we can take that is Korean.
Yeah, so like while working on this project, is there anything that really stays in your mind, like a story or
seeing the joy of people? Like when sometimes I go around and see random people and you connect, and it's a way to share. I mean, one thing that I learned from my mentors is you're trying to help people feel better because they're giving their free time to watch your content or accept your content. When it comes to music or TV shows or movies, they are sacrificing their free time because they feel there's something that matters, and you have their attention. And some are pretty wild. It's like someone's passed away or something didn't work out. I would like an image of us together. And I'm like, huh. Like that's like
it's meaningful. Yeah, it's got.
And it's like and I did not expect that to happen. I thought you get one character. I want to be a Simpsons character. No, there's like all kinds of stories that people put in these requests. They're just like, whoa.
Well, when you look at it, because like obviously in the States in particular, The Simpsons was a huge cultural force, right? Like in terms of pop culture and stuff. But even in Korea, like everyone knows what The Simpsons is.
Yeah.
A lot of Korean people would feel not just connected to the project that you're doing.
And the great thing about the style is that they're yellow. So what are they? They're anything. They could be anybody. Their design is so unique. They're not people.
Right.
They could be anything.
Right, because everyone is yellow. There's no color or anything like that. You know what I mean?
I mean, they have different characters now, but in the beginning it was just universal. Simpsons have been to Korea 4 years or 3 years ago. They came to Korea.
They what, like on a vacation?
Yeah.
Really?
It's over 700 episodes.
Oh my God.
I haven't even seen them all.
When you said you were a kid, how exactly did you end up working on The Simpsons? Like, what was going through your mind? Like, what made you want to participate in The Simpsons?
College is a Disney school. I went there just to work on The Simpsons, not even understanding anything. Wanted to be on The Simpsons so bad. I always remember one episode where Homer they find out why Maggie's not in the photo album. You're gonna work here forever. You're never gonna leave. It's this really negative thing that the boss put on the wall. Right. And they tell all these lie kind of stories why Maggie's not in the photo album. And at the end, at his desk, you see our photos rewording. It says, "I do it for her." And I mean, this is what I'm just thinking about because you realize he goes to work and suffers, take care of his family, right? At the end of the day, there's charming stories, there's caring stories about family, and sometimes they're just fun and kind of wacky, but.
So you get like a little bit the family and a little bit of the funny, the little bit of the this, a little bit of the that. So it kind of hits and it can find and resonate with all audiences.
Yeah.
I think you're well aware that The Simpsons has like a weird conspiracy theory, be like a Nostradamus situation, where like there's like, for example, big ones that I think I remember seeing was 9/11. I remember seeing like there was like a poster with like the Twin Towers on it, and then Trump being elected president. And there's a variety of different things. There's
And
like
the fact that he went down the elevator too.
Yeah, no, which
was crazy.
It was almost like a shot-for-shot comparison. Like, what do you think about that? Like, where does that?
So what happens is that there are 10 writers, all from Harvard or different places, and they try to think of what's the most unlikely thing to happen. For funny, it wouldn't be crazy if he was president, right? The most unlikely thing. Now, when the images look similar, that's crazy. That's where you can't really like. There's a few ones they did with AI, that were like when people were wearing the headsets, they already have a thing that it matches what's happening. We've had a few more, which is crazy. All they're trying to do is find out what's the most craziest thing that's improbable, actually impossible, and then it does happen.
It's insane.
Yeah. And the Trump one was like, yeah, he will never be president. It's impossible. So they make fun of it, right? And then he does.
And 9/11 too. I mean, like no one could have imagined. Like, it was like creepy. You know what I mean? Yeah. A lot of people. There's whole websites with like compilations of things that the Simpsons.
So far, there's about 20 things, and it's kind of nutty. Like I said, there's a new AI one. That's pretty crazy. Like someone's walking with a headset falling, and there's someone falling. It's because people with those Apple.
I see. Yeah. Those.
Someone
those
was walking
ones.
around and they messed up and they fell through. They actually already did that in The Simpsons.
Right. Really?
Yeah.
Well, what's another one that sticks really like out to you? You think?
There's a lot of them. And it got to the point where collecting them to see like how much could they find, and it kind of got nutty. Like it was over 20.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
What do like a lot of people that like not just you but other people that work on the show when they see that are they like?
Yeah, some people are like, "What? This is so." I mean, when you're working in production, it's like a race to finish because you know there's deadlines. You do 20 shows at a time. So when these things happen, you're like, "What the hell?" Like it's almost like kind of unreal. It's really unreal feeling. Yeah.
Well, that's really interesting to hear. I've always wondered about that. Like, is there like a conspiracy
No.
here? Like, you know?
It's just those guys are trying to find the coolest things, you know.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer you're in Korea though, but what else do you really want to try and go and experience?
I love hiking, despite what I look like.
Really?
I have a lot of endurance.
If you're here for a decent amount of time, I would suggest Bukhansan. Bukhan Mountain back here is probably the most scenic you can get. Really tough, I'm not gonna lie, but you get to the top and you can see all of Seoul. I would suggest that. And if you do get the chance to go to the beach, I would say go to like the east side, Pohang.
Yeah, that's where we're
Busan.
gonna.
Oh, you're gonna go to Pohang, yeah. They're really, really beautiful places. Yeah, no, those are some places I would recommend that you go.
Yeah, I'm here until the 27th, and then I come back in August, and then September.
You just move here.
I know, right? Hangzhou seems like a good area.
If you're coming back in September or around there, it's gonna be a little bit cooler than it is now, so you'll be able to get around and have more fun.
Yeah, I mean, I love the cold. Every time I come in the cold, they're like, "Your jacket does not work here. Like, it's not designed for this weather." But I love the cold. So
Well, no pressure,
Yeah.
but maybe a little pressure. But if you do come back in September and you're willing to meet again and maybe like, I don't know, do a follow-up or something like
that'd
that.
be awesome. The follow-up would be good to see what we're doing. We can actually show you some of the stuff we're doing.
Oh yeah, that'd be
And,
awesome.
like some kind of interesting things that we do.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I speed talk, and
No,
I'm
no,
sorry
no,
for my weird
It's
behavior.
great.
It's just exciting. I love being here, and I love the people here. Like I don't.
I know, but this has been really fun, and thank you so
No,
much.
this was awesome. Thank you so much for your
definitely.
time.